Hello guys, and welcome to the 30th Avatar Conquest battle. Today, I'm going to bring you something a little bit different on the Numizawa map against my opponent, Espin Nice. And today I'm going to be a little bit more sneaky and a little bit more abusive of the game, and pretty much doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. I have brought a full veteran army, as you can see here. It's all a heavy veteran component. You can see a lot of upgrades and a lot of chevrons for a 5-star general there. Here we go. I've got in the front 4 units of Boa Shigaru, and a bunch of them have some upgrades. And I like to put my upgrades on my Boa Shigaru initially in bow damage to get them to do that extra edge, and then I give them some more reload speed so they can put the pain across quicker. Right behind them, I've got my Kaji no Seikon, which means Stigma of Fire, and these guys have attack bonus, so they are just like your regular Katana Samurai, but can cut down other Katana Samurai quicker and more effectively, which makes them actually much more effective against units such as Naginata Samurai, and will be so they'll be able to hold their own and against similar Katana units, but also beat down other spear units. At the back, I've got the 2 customary Yari Samurai, which I also like to bring in every single battle, because these guys are like a backbone, they're like a backup. I can use their rapid advance, and I can also use them to protect against cavalry. So there they are in their gold and white colors. In the woods, I'm being super sneaky with 1 light cav unit, the Tsunami no Seikon, and I've given them charge bonuses and attack bonuses. And here is the Kaze no Seikon Yari cavalry units, the heavy cav contingent. They're only 1 unit, but they have a lot of charge, and they can be devastating, and they can actually win battles for me. So, let's take a look at my opponents. You can see that he has, from looking at the minimap, you can see that he has pretty much deployed on several fronts. He's crossing the lake over here, and his army is pretty much very veteran low, unlike mine. Here he's got 3 units of Katana Samurai, no upgrades at all, so these guys will not be able to stand toe-to-toe to my infantry. He's got a Yari Cav unit there, and he does have 2 more Bow Samurai here, who are also trying to join his main force, which is composed of 2 more Katana Samurai, Yari Ashigaru, which is the Spear Peasant unit, and these guys are only really good for holding positions very momentarily and stopping Cav, and only, of course, if you manage to get the Cav stuck on their pointy ends. If you charge them from the back, they won't do much. Morbro Samurai, and there's his general's avatar, and he has got 1 more Yari cavalry here guarding this little road. So let's take a look at the map and assess the strategical advantages and disadvantages that my opponent has and does not have. On the right, he's already starting to take the Sword Dojo, which is a smart move. He's going to need to take this if he wants to win, but you can already see that he hasn't even dismounted his cavalry, so they're pretty much just sitting there doing nothing now, because you need foot troops to take this building, and you need to dismount your cavalry in order to start capturing that building. He hasn't done that, so micro mistake on his part. In the middle, you've got a shrine to give that extra morale bonus, and here's the workshop, which gives you armor, and I am keen on taking this building initially, because as you can see, my opponent is going to take this hill, and he was he made his views very clear that he was worried that I had a very experienced army, and that he was worried that his troops could not match up, and that he wanted me to charge uphill. Never charge uphill in any situation, unless you're super confident or your opponent is super depleted. But in a situation like this, I don't have to charge up the hill, because, well, if he wants to stay on his hill, I'm going to be able to camp 2 of these 3 buildings, cap them, get the bonus, and have the advantage. Furthermore, in terms of quality, as you can see, he has the same number of bow units, 4, but he has Samurai and I have Ashigaru. But due to the fact that my guys are upgraded, they're almost on the same level as the Bow Samurai, and some of them may even be better, but he is on a hill, so if I want to keep my archery advantage, I don't want to fight him uphill. But you're going to see that I'm going to pull out, do some really weird stuff this battle, because my opponent was simply refusing to come down the hill. But anyway, you can see that I snuck up these cav units through the woods, and this is something some people actually do not know, is that once you start your units out hidden in the woods, and you start to walk them in the woods, they stay hidden in the woods. So they kind of sneak by, they move a little bit slower, but you can sneak them around. So I could have actually snuck my cavalry all the way back here if I wanted to, but you can see that this is the position I want to keep my cavalry at. Quick access into a flanking attack. And you can see here, this is my plan pretty much. Capture one building at a time, secure the vicinity, slowly, no rush. You can see that I'm going to take the workshop here, some nice European cannons. And my opponent, well, he has finally dismounted his Yari Cav, and there they are, starting to capture that building for his troops. And I'm going to actually move up to the shrine. So not much is actually going to happen now, so I'm going to fast forward for you guys. In chat, my opponent was telling me that I have this advantage and I have that advantage, and that I was the one who should be attacking his position. And look at this. This was actually a great move, which proves that my opponent isn't as weak as he claims to be. He charges right into my Katana Samurai, and I actually thought this was a Yari Samurai for a minute. And that's going to be a lot of casualties. And he's going to bring them down to about 80 men, I think. Sorry, 90 men. So that is 30 troops out. So that's a 4th strength gone with an excellent charge. He did take a good number of casualties, but seeing that my infantry is my greatest strength in this battle, that was a good move on his part. And that's a way, by the way, how you can get rid of Katana Samurai really easily through a frontal charge with Yari Cavalry. They have excellent charge and can take out infantry quite easily, especially with attacks like that where you run and then pull back, hit and run tactics pretty much. So my opponent has taken the Sword Dojo, and I think he's going to remount his horses anytime now. And you can see that he's going to just sit on this little mound here, and I'm not interested in going up there anytime. And you can see here he's moving his troops back. He's going to be getting on his horses. And as I said in the beginning, you do not want to be attacking a position like this. I mean, he's got woods all around him. If his archers are on skirmish, they'll be able to go back in the woods, get some wood bonus, get some cover, and your troops will just lose morale quick. And your general might even be a target for arrows easier, especially when he's on the foot of this little mound. So as I said, not much is going to happen. You can see that my opponent has captured that building and he's going to move away. And I'm actually going to let him keep it, because if I don't, he will never come out down of the hill. And you can see here that I'm going to actually start doing some things to kind of make my opponent feel a little bit more confident. I know that my strongest point in this battle is the fact that I still have hidden cavalry, and the fact that I have better infantry than him. So while his archers have the same numbers as mine will be able and should be able to maintain a fight with them. I'm actually going to throw away some of my Boa Shigaru units. And the reason I do this, well, I didn't want to sit around and wait for my opponent that long. So I actually do throw away. I pretty much run one of my units forward for 2 reasons. I'm not that kind-hearted person. So the first reason is obviously to make him feel a little bit more confident, so he can come down the hill and I can commence on massacring him. And the second reason was I was hoping he would use his flaming arrows on my bows, because if he wanted to have any chance against my infantry, it would be using precise timing with his cavalry and his charges and his flaming arrows. He would be able to take me on. But you can see here, we're pretty much negotiating, and I'm like, yeah, well, you should probably come down. And he's like, you've got a little hill advantage, and I don't know what hill advantage he's talking about, maybe this little thing here. But you're going to see in a little bit that I'm actually going to throw away a Boa Shigaru unit. I'm just going to run them forward, and they're going to get shot. And remember that at this point in the battle, my opponent still has no idea that I have cav. And judging from the fact that I have all veteran units, he probably thinks I don't have any cav. And because if I had cav, he probably thought that I would send them to capture this building now, since his cav is far away, when in reality they're hiding in this wood. I don't know if you count that or not, but they ran back into these woods in wait of ambush of anything that moves and tries to recapture the Sword Dojo. I'm not interested in the Sword Dojo, since I am using the Fuji-Kick Retainer, which drops melee attack for all his melee infantry by 2. So my troops have a definite advantage still. And so you can see here that he's finally trying to maneuver into place, and I'm finally going to actually get sick of it. Now, as I said, going to throw away some of my units. Just going to run them forward. You can see here I'm getting ready to start the skirmish fight. And indeed, I will attack his main force with my archers, excuse me. And here we go. Starting, I think I will push my troops forward. There you go, he makes that final move. And now, any time, there you go. I'm adjusting accordingly. And I'm going to start moving my Boa Shigaru forward. Here they go. and you can see that this unit is pretty much going to get thrown away due to the fact that it has the least amount of experience. And look at that, my opponent already starts using his flaming arrows. So plan perfect. See, all those flaming arrows, I'll take them. I'll take them happily. This is like sponge. Like, I sent these guys forward mainly to do stuff like this. And you can see here that I'm just making them a target. I'm running them back and forth, making them a target because I want to deplete arrows, deplete fire arrows, and you can see that I'm doing the same thing here with this one, and more fire arrows coming my way, which is excellent for me. And this is going to actually deplete most of his fire arrows, if not all. I don't know if he had any left. That was probably all of them. And there we go. And now I can start fighting him back on almost regular terms. You can see this unit here. It's going to. They have about 7 men remaining, and they're going to get showered here. 6 guys remaining. I think at one point I eventually turn them around and charge into my enemy. You can still. He's still shooting them down. He wants to make sure that they're gone completely. They're wavering here back at their line. You can see a big gap in the line where they used to stand. So what was the point of that? Well, I did lose a lot of men, true, granted, but he also lost a good number of men, and he wasted his fire arrows. So easier for my infantry, and since that's my big strength, I want to build on that and capitalize on that. And you can see here that I'm slowly pulling away, making sure that my opponent does not notice that. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to give my cavalry more room to be able to charge on a flank, because if my infantry was up here, this building would act as a natural barrier to my cavalry charges, whereas now if he engages me, my cavalry should be able to nicely come around and hit them from good angles. So what happens next? My opponent is actually going to bring his hidden units out of the hiding soon, but you can see there they go. And look at this. This is glorious. I see these guys moving. They're running, and just at the last minute, I put my guys into diamond, and I'm going to actually charge and defeat this Yari cavalry unit. That wasn't a great charge. This one is going to be a little bit of a better charge, and you can see that this is going to set them on a wavering route. And there they go. He's going to activate another hidden unit of Yari cavalry, and he's going to actually try to attack me. You can see that the skirmish fight is still raging on. At this point, he was telling me that my archers were doing better than his, which I didn't quite understand. So you can see here, there goes my cavalry. I'm going to attack his second Yari Cav unit, which leaves one Yari Cav he has, and they are far, far away from the battle. They are in the trees here. They're going to have to cross the water, and I do have a Yari Samurai protecting my flanks. So things are looking good for me. You can see here my opponent sending Yari Ashigaru unit, and I was hoping that my cavalry could actually pull a win off here. This was a very bad charge on my part. I could have charged very much better and gotten my charge bonus better, but I still managed to rout these guys before the Yari Ashigaru get there. You can see here they've routed, and I'm going to run my guys to the hills and leave his Yari Ashigaru separated from his main force. And my opponent is going to actually reach a frustration point. He's going to need to do something right now because he is definitely lost the cavalry edge that he initially had, at least in terms of numbers. Well, he actually had a statistical superiority as well. He had 3 cav, and I had 3 Yari cav, and I had 1 light cav and 1 Yari cav. If he positioned them all on one flank, he could have easily overpowered me. You can see here that I'm moving my general to the left, and I'm also bringing my cav back here to restore that morale a little bit. And you can see that this unit here is going to start wavering, and I'm going to wait just a little bit for these guys' morale to go back up to green. It does. They enter my aura, and I'm going to run back as soon as I can and actually activate Inspire. And I want to keep my bows in the fight. These guys have some 26 guys left. They're still in the fight. So I'm going to keep them in the fight, and I'm going to inspire them here. There goes my general's aura, and I'm actually going to hit the inspire ability anytime soon, because the reason I figured I should use inspire now was because, well, I wouldn't need it to cool down later, seeing that I was very confident about my infantry overpowering his infantry. So you can see here that I'm going to actually inspire, and there goes the inspire, and these guys are going to fight for a little bit longer, do a little bit more casualties. And at this point, my opponent has no choice but to attack. Since my bows are still in the fight, I have more cavalries. And here I lost some ammunition, and I think so did he. And here comes the main attack. And you can see here that I'm using my bow Ashigaru here as a little bit of a screening force. Why? Because I want to push my guys back more. And see, that was the plan. So now I have them at a perfect position for my cavalry to support. And you can see here that he's bringing Yari Eshigaru, and I'm going to actually let them come as close as I can to my cavalry before moving my cavalry away. And the reason for this is because I want to separate them from the battle. And here comes the infantry charge, and there it goes. And my general's also shooting in there, and you can see that the initial infantry has collided, and you can see here taking shots into these Yari Eshigaru as I run my cavalry around them just barely. And there we go. And I'm going to run my cavalry. Notice here he's got a bow samurai left, and there's his general in bow mode. And when a general is in bow mode, it's an easy target. And look at this. I'm going to charge with my light cavalry into this bow unit, and my Yari cavalry have his generals in sight. And you can see here that I'm going to charge his general, who's still in bow mode. Nope, he takes his sword out at the last second. Good micro there. And he's going to try to run out and reunite with the rest of his Yari cav. But those Yari cav are running right into Yari samurai. You can see the battle is raging in the middle. And here goes Matsuda Kage himself. He's going to plow through these lines, hit the morale, and start wavering. And the Yari cav is going to run right into the Yari samurai. And this is not a matchup a cavalry unit wants to be in. Not at all. And here comes the remaining cavalry that I have, and they're going to hit the backs of these infantry, and that, my friends, is going to be the battle. You can see here wavering starting at the right, at the left, and in the center. There goes the general, and that was the game. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. My opponent did have a numerical superiority. Should have used that a little bit better. He didn't, and I think that's why he lost the game. He was a little bit too afraid to commit when he could have really taken it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.